Hi everybody, today we are going to talk about the next part of our lesson, angle relationships. We have studied before the cases of adjacent angles, complementary angles and supplementary angles. Today we are going to talk about vertically opposite angles or V.O.A. The vertically opposite angles are non-adjacent angles formed by intersection of two straight lines. What's the meaning of formed by intersection of two straight lines? If you have two pens or two pencils, like these fingers, here we have an intersection. They are intersected at one point. So here we have vertically opposite angles. As you see, each two opposite angles are equal in measure. So we say that they are vertically opposite. Okay, the first one here, this angle, for example, if it measures 120 degree, so the opposite one will be also 120 degree. If the other angle is 60 degree, so this one also will be 60 degree as well. So the two vertically opposite angles are congruent, or that means equal in measure. Okay? Let's start with example 1. In each of the following figures, find what is required below each figure. Here we have a great sign. It's good one. If we have these two straight lines and this sign is called intersected or intersection. If we have this sign, so we know that we have vertical opposite angles. Two straight lines intersected at one point, so each opposite angles will be vertical opposite and they will be equal in measure. Okay? Here we have first straight line, the second straight line, make x letter. So it will be 3x minus 10 equals the opposite angle, which is 125. Okay? Find the value of x. Okay. As we said before, 3x minus 10 is the opposite angle to 125 degrees. We will write them as equation. So it will be 3x minus 10 equal 125, and here is the reason. Vertically opposite angles, V.O.A. So we will move negative 10 to the other side. So it will be positive 10. 125 plus 10, it will be 135. Then we will take the number beside x, which is coefficient of x, to the other side by division. Why? Because we do the opposite operation. It's multiply, so we divide by number 3. So it will be 135 divided by 3, it will be 45 degrees. Another example, here we have the same sign, نفس الإشارة. BE intersected with AD equal M. So you have to know that we have two straight lines intersected at one point. Here is the first one and here is the other one. So here is the intersected point. Okay, look good at this example. You will find that the measure of these two angles equal the measure of the opposite one. Okay? Okay. He asked us to find the measure of angle AMB, this one, DME, it's also the next one or the opposite one. As you see, measure of angle 1 will be equal to measure of angle 2. Why? Because they are vertical opposite angle, x sine. Okay? The third one, measure of angle AME, this is the third one. Okay? So he asked us to find three angles. First of all, I'd like you to remember that if we have a straight line, the angles in the upper part here, their measure will be 180 because they are supplementary angles. So their sum will be 180. Of course, if you extended this line in this way, you will find that this one, for example, here we have 115 plus 28. We can add them. 115 plus 28. It will be the measure of the angle BMD, all of it. And then we can subtract it from 180 supplementary angles to get measure of angle 1 or to get measure of angle 2 because angle 1 and angle 2 are equal. Okay? So he started this step with us like what I said. Measure of angle AMB, okay? This one equal 180 minus the sum of two other angles, 115 and 28. It will be 37. Which one will be 37? AMB, this one. We called it angle number 1 because of a straight angle or supplementary angles. As we said before, measure of angle 1 is equal to measure of angle 2 because they are vertically opposite angles. So, measure of angle DME equal measure of angle AMB equal 37. Okay? Okay. The third one, we have three ways to get it. The third one, AME, we have three ways to get this measure. Okay, I'll start from the beginning to find its measure. Okay? As I said, we have how many ways? Three ways. First way, with the vertical opposite angles. As I said before, its measure equals the sum of these two angles. So it will be 115 plus 28. This is the measure. Or other one, we can subtract 180 minus measure of angle 1, which is 37. Why? Because here we have a straight line. All the angles under this straight line, their sum equal 180. Why? Because they are supplementary angles. Okay? So you can add the two angles, 115 plus 28, because it's vertical opposite angle to this one. This one equals to it. And you can solve it by subtracting 108 because we have straight line or supplementary angles minus the given angle, which is angle 1 or angle 2, by the way. Okay? So it will be the same measure, which is 143. Okay? Okay. The second case of angle relationship called accumulative angles or angles around the point. Okay? Okay. The sum of measures of accumulative angles at the point equal equal 360 degrees. You have to remember this one clearly, okay? We can replace the word accumulative angles by angles around the point. Okay? As you see, you can see that these three rays started from the same point, which is M. We have MA, MC, MB. The sum of these angles together equal 360. This is the reason that we say that they are accumulative or angles around a point. Their sum will be always 360. Here we have examples for this one. First thing you have to know or to focus on the point they met on. Here they met on this point. Here they met on this one. Here they met on this one. In the three cases, we have the same sum of the angles, which is 360. And then you can think that he gave us some angles, we can subtract from 360. Or he gave us symbols. We can add them and equal them to 360. Or we have these two equal angles. In all cases, you have to equal the sum of these angles to 360. Okay? Well, let's start with the first case. Here we have angle M, this point M. BMC equal 140 degree, CMD equal 100 degree, and BMA equal 90 degree. How did we know its measure is 90 degree? Because here we have a small square. So its measure will be 90 degree, this one. Okay? So here we have three angles out of four. The fourth one is X. We need to know its measure. So we will say that 140 plus 100 plus 90 plus x equal 360. Or we can say that x equal 360 minus the sum of the other three angles. 90, 140, and 100. So if we add these angles, the result will be 330. Then we will subtract 360 minus 330, its measure will be 30 degrees. So the measure of x in the first case equals 30 degrees. The second one, as you see, there is no given number. We have here symbol of x. This angle is 2x degree, 2x degree, 2x degree, 3x degree. So the four angles in symbol x. What do you think we will do? The step to start that they will get their sum equals to 306. So we will write that 2x plus 2x plus 2x because we have 2x and 3x equal 360. You can add them as usual. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3. 2 plus 2, 4. 4 plus 2 equal 6 plus 3, it will be 9. There is no change in the symbol. It will be x also. So it will be 9x. We add or subtract the number beside the symbol which is coefficient. So it will be 9x equal 360. Then we will take 9 to the other side by division. So it will be 360 divided 9 equal 40. 40 is the measure of the symbol x. We have three angles of 2x. So we will multiply 40 by 2 to get the measure of any one of them. So it will be, for example, if you want to find the measure of this one, it will be 80. Of course, this one is equal to 8, and the third one also. Here, 3 by 40, which is x, it will be 120 degrees. If you add these four angles, the sum, of course, will be 360. The third one, here we have angle of 150 degrees, 110 degrees, and 40 degrees, and two equal angles. Two equal angles. You can write a symbol on them with x, y, or any other symbol, or let them as they are. As they are. The measure of AMC is this one. I'll shade it, okay? The whole angle. So it will be in green, by the way. AMC. When we get its measure, we will divide it by 2 to get each one with the smaller angles. Equals 360 minus 110, 40, 150. Where is 110, 150, 40? Okay, the measure will be 60. 60 goes to the whole one, 60. If you want to know the measure of angle AMB or CMB, you will divide it by 2. 60 by 2, it will be 30 as written here. Okay? Here we have some exercise. The sum of measures of angles around the point. Of course, we know that it will be 360 degrees. The angle with measure of 75 has a vertical opposite angle. It will be the same. So it will be 75 also. The vertical opposite angles are complementary. Then the measure of each one equals. Complementary means what? Their sum will be 90 degrees. Okay? And they are vertical opposite. So it will be 90 divided 2. Each one of them will be 45 degrees. Here we have vertical opposite angles. As I said before, x sine. Of course, as you see, you will find that measure of angle 2x plus 30, the opposite one to 130. So we will write that 2x plus 30 equal 130 degrees. Okay? And then we will write the reason V.O.A. You will move 30 degrees to the other side. It will be 2x equals 130 minus 30. 2x equal 100 degrees. We will divide it by 2, so x it will be 50 degrees. Okay? Okay, this is the first one. He asked us to find the measure of AMD, this one. So, First of all, we want to know the measure of this one. It will be 130. Measure of angle AMD. As you see, here we have a straight line, straight line, straight line. So it will be supplementary angles. The sum of these angles will be 180 degree. So measure of angle AMD will be 180 minus 150 equals 30 degree. Okay? No, it's 130, not 150. So we have to write it in the right way. This one is, I replaced them. This one is 130, so the result will be 50 degree. Okay? Sorry about that. 180 minus 130 will be 50 degree. We get the value of x. First, it will be 50 degrees. Okay? The second one, find measure of angle AMD. AMD. Okay? I'll write it in the question mark sign. As you see, there is angles around the point. So the sum will be 360. 360. Okay, we will add 135 to 65 to 90 because here we have small square, and then we will subtract it from all of them from 360. The result will be measure of angle AMD. So measure of angle AMD equal 360 minus the sum of 90 plus 135 plus 65. Okay, wide angles around a point. This is the reason. Okay. Okay. The angle with measure of 30 degree has vertical opposite angle of measure 30 degree. The sum of measures of angles around the point equal. Okay, of course they are 360. Okay, so we need an answer from these four answers or four choices. It will be 360 also. Of course, it will be 4 right angles. Right means 90 degrees. So if we multiply 4 by 90, it will be 360 degree. If the vertical opposite angles are complementary, then the measure of each one will be 45 degree. We solved it previously. The sum of measures of 4 angles around the point space. The sum of measures of 5 angles around the point. It's a tricky one because the question goes with this statement around the point. Around the point, the sum of angles around the point doesn't change. So it will be 360 in two cases. So it will be equal. There is no change. If we have 3 angles around the point, 4 angles around the point, 10 angles around the point, they are all around the point. So the sum will be 360. Like this one, here we have 4 angles around the point. So their sum will be 360. We cannot change it. So if you look at this one carefully, you'll find that 7x, 4x, 5x, and 120. So we will add 7x plus 4x plus 5x plus 120. It will be 360. Okay? So here we have 7 plus 4, 11 plus 5, 16x plus 120 equal 360. We will solve it as normal equation. We will move 120 to the other side by subtracting. So it will be 16x equals 240. Then we will divide it by 16. Okay, to get the value of what? Of x. I think it will be 15. If the ratio of the measure of 3 angles around the point is 4 to 3 to 2, then the measure of the greatest angle. Okay, 4 to 3 to 2. Okay. Ratio. We will say that the angles will be ABC, for example, and total. The sum of all angles. 4, 3, 2. It will be 7 plus 2, it will be 9, and here we have 360. This is a way of solving ratio. So he asked us to get the greatest one. The greatest angle has the greatest ratio, so it will be this one. Okay, A equals 9 in the denominator, and here we have 360 multiplied by 4. As we know, 360 divided 9, it will be 40. 40 by 4, it will be 160. So this is the measure of the greatest one. Okay? Oh, okay. Here we have 160. Okay? As you see here, we have vertical opposite angles. 6x, of course, equals 60 degree. So 6x equals 60 degree. And then we will divide by 6. So x will be 10 degree. It will be this one. This is your homework. In each of the following figures, find what is required below. Of course, if we have this line, we will find that they are vertical opposite angles. So first and second, third one, they are vertically opposite, and fifth one also. In number 4 and number 6, they are angles around the point, so the sum will be 360. For example, if you want to solve the second one, you will find that 2x is equal to 80. 2x equals to 80, and then we will divide it by 2, so x will be 40 degree. In this one, you will find that these two angles, by the way, they are equal because they have the same sign, will be equal to what? 120 degrees. If we call them x and x, so 2x equal 120. X will be 60. X, this one or this one. He asked us to get EMD, which equals to 60 degree. But in this one, you will find that they are around the point. So we will add 2x plus 15 to 3x minus 25, 2x plus 15 plus 3x minus 25 plus 90 equals 360. Because they are around the point. 2x plus 3x, it will be 5x. 15 minus 25 plus 90, it will be negative 10 minus 9, it will be 80 equal 360. And then we will move 80 to the other side by subtraction. So it will be 5x equal 360 minus 80, it will be 280. Then we'll divide it by what? 5. Okay, you can solve these ones and send me the answers. Okay, I hope that you will get benefits from this video to know the angle relationships, supplementary, complementary, adjacent, and angles around the point, and the fifth one will be vertically opposite angles. Okay, thank you and see you later inshallah. Bye.